The train station was nearly empty that night, the kind of quiet where even footsteps seemed too loud. Snow blew through the open doors as Emma sat alone on the bench, staring at the clock. Her train was delayed again. Christmas Eve, and she was still 2 towns away from home. "Long wait?" a voice asked. Emma looked up. A man, maybe in his 60s, stood in front of her, gray coat, red scarf, kind eyes that looked oddly familiar. "Seems like it," she said. "At this rate, Christmas will be over before I get there." He chuckled softly. Trains always find their way. Eventually, so do people. She smiled politely, unsure how to respond. He sat down a few seats away, pulling something from his coat pocket, an old snow globe with a little cabin inside. He shook it gently, watching the flakes swirl. "My wife bought me this on our first Christmas," he said. "Said we'd have a cabin like it one day. We never did." He looked at her then. "Trains kept me too busy back then." "You work here?" Emma asked. "Used to," he replied, "long time ago." For a moment, they sat in silence, listening to the wind whistle through the station. Then the loudspeaker crackled. "Train 47 to Maple Hollow, now arriving at platform 2. "That's me," Emma said, standing up quickly. "Hey, thank you for the company." He nodded, smiling. "Merry Christmas, Emma." She froze. "Wait, how do you?" But he was gone. Only the snow globe sat where he'd been, glimmering softly under the flickering light. She picked it up, heart racing. When she looked inside, something new had appeared. A tiny bench, 2 little figures sitting side by side. The train whistle sounded. Emma hurried aboard, clutching the globe. When she stepped off hours later at her hometown station, the first thing she saw through the snow was a small lit cabin in the distance, just like the one inside the globe. And though she couldn't explain how, she somehow knew the man had finally made it home too. Part 2, the cabin light. Snow crunched under Emma's boots as she followed the narrow path toward the cabin. The light inside shimmered softly through the trees, haloed by flakes spiraling down like stars. By the time she reached the door, her pulse thrummed with some strange mix of fear and curiosity. She knocked. No answer, only the faint crackle of a fire inside. She hesitated, then turned the handle. The door creaked open. The cabin was warm, lived in, as if someone had just stepped out. 2 mugs sat on a small wooden table by the fireplace. A red scarf hung on a hook near the door. And there, on the mantel, was a faded photograph, a younger version of the man from the station, arm around a smiling woman in front of the very same cabin. Emma's breath caught. She set the snow globe beside the photo. The little figures inside glowed faintly, the snow swirling slower now, almost peacefully. Suddenly, the fire flickered, and a voice soft as falling snow filled the room. "Thank you, Emma. She's been waiting for me." Emma turned sharply, but no one was there. Only the warmth remained, wrapping around her like a blanket. Hours later, when her parents' car pulled into the driveway, they found her fast asleep on the couch, the snow globe resting on her lap. The next morning, she looked for the cabin again, but the woods were empty. Only her footprints remained and one red thread frozen in the snow. That night, when she set the snow globe on her windowsill, the cabin inside was no longer dark. A soft golden light glowed from its windows, never fading. Part 3, Echoes Through the Snow. For days after Christmas, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was still watching over her. The snow globe remained on her nightstand, its glow steady even when she hadn't touched it. Sometimes, in the quiet before sleep, she thought she heard the faint whistle of a train outside her window. But the tracks in her town had been abandoned for years. On New Year's Eve, her curiosity won. She returned to the woods where the cabin had stood. Most of the snow had crusted over, untouched since she'd last been there. She followed the faint indentation of her old footprints until she reached the same clearing. But now it was empty. No chimney, no porch, not even the outline of a foundation. Only one thing remained, a tarnished nameplate half buried in the snow. She brushed it clean and read aloud. Station Master George Ellery, 1965 to 1995. The name echoed through her mind. A memory surfaced, the gray coat, the kind eyes, the red scarf, the man in the station. Emma swallowed hard and turned the snow globe over in her hands. The glass was cold, but beneath the swirling flakes, she noticed something new. A tiny name carved into the little cabin's door. G. Ellery. Her breath caught. How is this possible? That night, unable to resist, she researched the name. The old local archives told her the rest. George Ellery had been the station master at Maple Hollow. On Christmas Eve, 1995, he'd finished his final shift before retirement, but the night train he was meant to take home derailed in a blizzard. No survivors. The townspeople later built a cabin in his memory near the woods before time, and weather took it back into Earth. Emma leaned back in her chair, heart thudding. The snow globe on her desk pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. She touched the glass. "George," she whispered, "is that you?" A sudden rush of icy air swept through her room. The lamp flickered. In the reflection of her window, she saw him, the faint outline of the man in his red scarf, standing just behind her. "Why me?" she breathed. His voice returned, soft and steady. "Because you were meant to wait for me. I missed my train home once, but you helped me find my way back." Tears stung her eyes. "Did you reach her? Your wife?" He smiled faintly. "Every Christmas night, when the light in your globe still burns, that's where we meet." The figure faded, leaving behind only the faint aroma of smoke and pine, as if the cabin's hearth had just gone out. When Emma glanced at the snow globe again, something was different. A third figure had appeared, standing outside the cabin door, looking in. From that day on, the snow globe never lost its glow. And every Christmas, when the wind whistled like a faraway train, Emma would whisper a greeting to the man in the red scarf, knowing that some journeys never truly end.